New York City evicts the poor while 5,600 apartments sit empty.
So evictions are now taking place more frequently across New York City during the dead of winter. But controversially, it's the city itself who's allowing people to get kicked out of its own affordable housing facilities with the help of private corporations. And to make matters even worse, this is all happening while 5,600 of these affordable units sit empty, collecting dust instead of rent during the worst housing crisis New York's experienced in decades.
The city's biggest landlord is currently carrying more than 5,600 vacancies across its portfolio. Boca admits she'd been squatting in the vacant unit with her young daughter for the last 4 months. She says before squatting, they lived in a city home.
I think everybody starts off doing something kind of like that. Like the thing is all of those jobs are still necessary. They're just a lot of them are kind of entry stuff, you know? It's like for instance, I see a lot of people saying like, oh, you can't, like, how are you supposed to like have a middle class income working at McDonald's, cooking fries at McDonald's? You're not supposed to. That's literally why it's an early game job. You either like work at McDonald's and then you work your way up to manager, and then you can kind of like take that into like middle class, but then like work as a cashier. That's not an end game job. It's supposed to be, like your early level jobs, basically.
The shelter.
That apartment actually has been vacant for 5 years.
The building itself is pretty old. I mean, they're reinstalling new pipes and stuff like that.
The little heat we get is going out the window, and they won't even give us new windows.
This is what you slept in last night?
Yeah.
They say some of the conditions are inhumane.
Oh my God.
Have photos of different shades of water, they say, continue to come out of their faucets.
The shades of
Paint
water?
in their apartments that's peeling from the walls, and cabinets
Did they say
with
different
no doors.
shades of
Mocha
water?
argues New York City has a housing shortage. Her family is homeless, and NYCHA should be
Shades
using
of
its vast
water.
inventory of vacant apartments to house
That's
the
so
homeless.
bad.
The heat is barely coming through here, and the heat that does make it through is going right through drafty windows. Neighbors here say they are frustrated, and we are working to get them some answers.
So after turning several public housing complexes over to private managers, evictions are skyrocketing. And while this is happening, nobody can live in the thousands of vacant apartments just sitting empty in the very same buildings people are being kicked out of. A situation that just adds to New York's growing homelessness epidemic instead of fixing it. During a time when sky-high rents, sky-high groceries, and apartment shortages are forcing many New Yorkers out on the streets, with some going so far as to live in our subway system in an attempt to escape bitter cold winter temperatures. And none of this makes any sense. We shouldn't have empty apartments during a housing crisis, and we certainly shouldn't be making people homeless during a homelessness epidemic.
So why though? Why? There's gotta be like a reason, right?
But that's exactly what's happening. And the most frustrating thing about this is that last year the city had just under 5,000 empty apartments which weren't being used. And during these dueling crises, that number has just gone up. At a time when there's a backlog of over 200,000 New Yorkers waiting for a spot to open up in public housing, who it seems are waiting around for no reason, as there are empty apartments right now they could live in, but instead those apartments sit vacant. And that brings us to the real reason why New York City is increasing the size of its homeless population while restricting the very supply of apartments that could help those in need. Nobody running these housing facilities cares if the people they're designed for benefit from them. And in spite of the fact that thousands are waiting for these apartments to open up, it still takes a staggering 400 days for a vacant apartment in New York public housing to get renovated and then re-rented to a new tenant, a process that private landlords who don't get government funding are able to accomplish in just a few days. But as you're about to see, the city seems to have no problem evicting people from these places. Vacant apartment in New York public housing to get renovated and then re-rented to a new tenant, a process that private landlords who don't get government funding are able to accomplish in just a few days. But
so wait, I sound like a broken record at this point. The government just sucks. They just suck. I don't know. They just keep losing. Government keeps losing.
You're about to see, the city seems to have no problem evicting people from these places at a much faster rate.
I mean, they literally just said that the government takes way longer.
NYCHA public housing facility. NYCHA stands for New York City Housing Authority. It's the largest public housing authority in North America. And according to the city's website, NYCHA was created in 1935 to provide decent, affordable housing for low and moderate income New Yorkers. But as you can see, there are some big problems with the way these facilities are run that start at the front door and then work their way inside these facilities, where apparently you have thousands of vacant apartments nobody can live in.
Mocha admits she'd been squatting in the vacant unit with her young daughter for the last 4 months. She says before squatting, they lived in a city homeless shelter. You decided to move in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, I still have my daughter.
So in this story, we've got a single mom who's getting evicted from one of these apartments, which apparently had been empty for a very long time. Now, this woman does admit to finding her way inside this vacant apartment and residing there without a lease, which would make her a squatter. Now, squatting is definitely not okay, but this just goes to show you how backwards and poorly managed these facilities are when they're full of empty apartments that could really help someone, and when someone who needs that help finds their way inside of one, they're not allowed to live there. Nobody is. That's crazy. And if you look around New York City, you'll notice pretty quickly that there are a lot of people who need a place to live. We've got people living in our subway, we've got people living in campers and cars outside of parks, and you've got thousands of...
So wait, what's the benefit here then of kicking people out? Like, what's the... Is it because they get the government money anyway, so they don't care if there's people in there or not? Like, there's gotta be like this doesn't add up.
People right now waiting in line for a place like this, and they're told nothing's available and they have to keep waiting.
Tenants here at the Ingersoll houses tell us that there are vacant units scattered throughout this development.
Yeah, but why though? Right? Like, why?
Which they say have been empty for years.
That apartment actually has been vacant for 5 years.
Mocha argues New York City has a housing shortage, her family is homeless, and NYCHA should be using its vast inventory.
So they were able to get an interview with one of the neighbors who says that the apartment that this woman found herself in was vacant for 5 years. That's a long time. Now, she was living there for 4 months, which again, she admits...
That's what I mean. Like, how's that financially viable? The only thing that makes me think about is they don't care. But what gives them the luxury of not caring? That's what I mean. Like, what are the details behind it, right? This doesn't make any sense.
That she shouldn't have been doing, but the fact that this place was empty for half a decade, that is utterly ridiculous. One way of looking at this is, yes, this woman did something wrong, but on the other hand, at least somebody lived in this place for a couple of months and got off the streets for a little while. Now, of course, this is...
I'm kind of neutral on it.
Unfair to the 240,000 people who were apparently waiting for one of these apartments as of last year, but without someone forcing their way...
Private landlord would lose money from vacant apartments, you would think. Yeah, exactly.
...into one of these...
That's why I'm like, what's happening here? There's gotta be something happening here because this doesn't make any sense.
Units, this story never would have made the news, and there would be no public outcry for something to be done. And this also reveals that these properties are not being run or managed by people who care if they are ever put to good
use. They're property of the New York City Housing Authority.
use. And this is just so backwards from the way a normal apartment building is run. In a normal
see, this isn't a normal apartment building.
If there's a vacant apartment, the landlord knows about it, the super knows about it. They know immediately when the tenant moves out, and they've got every incentive in the world to find somebody else to move in and pay the rent for that place. But here, apparently, you've got apartments that are sitting empty for half a decade, and either nobody knows or somebody does know, but nobody has any reason to...
You know why? Again, this is what I said about the government. There's no incentive to actually do anything. There's no incentive for any sort of efficiency or any sort of accountability, making sure anything works. There's no incentive for it. They don't care. That's the problem.
Find someone to live in that place. It's totally backwards. It doesn't make sense.
You can't even blame rent controls here because this is a public housing.
And these are places that are set up to help the less fortunate who are waiting in line, some people for years, to try and get one of these. But look at this, even if you do get one of these coveted apartments, life is not all roses and flowers. A lot of these places have massive sudden problems, and living in them is certainly no vacation. And at this facility here, you look outside, there's not enough trash cans, there's waste all over the place. Folks shouldn't have to live like that in an apartment building, no matter what their rent is. But the city has an excuse for why they've got so many.
Move out of the city. You gotta move out of the city. Dude, honestly, I don't want to hear fucking shit about there not being jobs in the countryside. I see fucking now hiring, need help, help wanted. I see it all the time in the countryside. I don't want to fucking hear it.
empty apartments just sitting around that nobody can live in.
The city's biggest landlord is currently carrying more than 5,600 vacancies across its portfolio. Agency officials say crews must perform repair and environmental work before safely transferring vacant units to the next tenants. Councilmember elect.
So in defense of their 5,600 empty apartments, the city says that it's hard to renovate them and it's a lot of work and we're trying and we're doing better, and then there's the environment. But a private landlord can turn around their apartments in a legal manner in just a weekend if they need to. And NYCHA is the biggest housing authority in North America. They're in the business of renovating apartments. They should be
I couldn't imagine living in a place like that, though, to be honest. It's so fucking cramped. Holy shit. I don't understand you city dwellers. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand your way of life.
pretty good at it, but for some reason they're terrible at it. Maybe that's why it takes 400 days to turn these places around. That's ridiculous. Either way, what we have here is a government
I'm a free range slime, okay?
agency that exists to help people but isn't doing that, and this is just a total failure of management. There's really no excuse. But if you look around New York City, you'll see thousands of different buildings owned by thousands of different landlords, and some of you are probably thinking that maybe somebody out there could do a better job fixing these public housing projects. But the city's tried this, and unfortunately the problems experienced in these places, they don't go away. Instead, they just change, and then there are new problems. So these housing facilities, they've got a lot of problems, from the way that they're managed to how old they are and how many repairs they need. And the city's tried to come up with ways around this other than changing what they do internally. And some of that has involved reaching out to private management companies that have experience doing this to see if they can do a better job. And even though they've done a better job on some of the aspects—
Damn, it's almost like the free market is better than fucking the government. Damn. Who could have saw that coming?
So running these places, they've also been kicking more people out.
There's a super on the premises thing.
It's almost like if there's accountability and there's accountability and incentive involved, that things are better. That's crazy.
Resolved immediately.
Neighbors at 572 Warren Street, which is owned by the city but managed by a private company under a so-called pact agreement, say along with those recent improvements,
Maybe there is a couple more evictions. There's new people coming in.
in a new report, the city...
So residents who live in some of these pact properties, as they're called, these are public housing projects that have been turned over to private companies, they say that the living experience is better. Things are getting fixed faster, there's more maintenance.
They got transferred to a public, private company, and now it's all good. Damn.
The buildings are better run, but they also say that they see a lot more people moving in and out of these places, and that the number of evictions are much higher. Now, it's hard to tell exactly why this is happening.
Why is that?
Is it happening because the buildings are just more efficiently run and the eviction process is more efficient as a byproduct of that?
That's true. That
Or
could be
is
that.
what's happening in these facilities what the city's comptroller alleges after his internal investigation?
They're going to allege that they're basically causing artificial scarcity.
Reveals that tenants in some of these properties are not being adequately informed of their options and their rights. Either way, something's going on, because auditors found that the private companies evicted tenants from 1 out of every 200 apartments, and the normal NYCHA eviction rate is 1 out of every 866 apartments, mostly for the non-payment of rent, which makes sense. You've got to pay rent if you want to live somewhere. But on the other hand, here you have apartments that are designed for people who may be in a tough situation and may have trouble paying their rent. And it's entirely conceivable that folks living in New York City public housing might need extra assistance or extra time or extra help getting their bills together. But the fact of the matter is, these evictions are happening while thousands of apartments remain empty. These are apartments that nobody can live in, and evictions are happening, forcing people to go live in homeless shelters or on the streets. But sadly, as you're about to see, even if you manage to snag one of these apartments, living in it won't be a walk in the park, that's for sure. In fact, conditions are so bad at some of these places that some of the residents might just decide decide to evict themselves so that they don't have to put up with what you're about to see.
Here inside Neitsch's Stuyvesant Gardens Senior Living Center, the heat is barely coming through here, and the heat that does make it through is going right through drafty windows. Neighbors here say they are frustrated. This is what you slept in last night. Yeah. We also found most making hot cups of tea or just running their ovens not to cook Christmas dinner.
This is a disaster.
Holy
You've got
shit.
people running their ovens and their stoves to try and heat their apartments because they're not warm enough in the freezing cold New York winter. That's not right. Especially when the city likes to create blog articles bragging about how they're ready for heating season and how they even state on their website the apartments have to be 68 during the day and 62 at night when it's below 55 out. What's even more maddening is that this facility on the news it is a seniors facility. Everyone living there is of age, and extreme temperatures are going to be even harder for them to deal with. Yet every time they turn on their heat, nothing comes out, and the warmth they do have in their apartments escapes through old, drafty windows. And I hate to say this, but when you realize how bad the heating situation is in these buildings, if they can't be heated properly, moving more people into other apartments inside of them might just make the whole situation worse for everybody. And maybe that's the reason these apartments are all...
Guys, I know a place that's warm all the time, almost all the time. It barely rains, and they give you a lot of free benefits if, like, you're homeless. Hit me up. I know a place in California.
Vacant. Maybe they can't be safely operated without dragging down the living conditions of everybody else in these buildings. Now, of course, if the buildings in question were better maintained, this wouldn't be a problem. You rarely hear about stuff like this happening in privately run buildings. And now the question is it really right for the city to be evicting people from its buildings when the conditions inside of them are so bad the people living there wish they didn't even have to, but their other option is the street?
One of the main concerns they have is the lack of clean water in their apartments. They say some of the conditions are inhumane. They have photos of different shades of water they say continue to come out of their faucets.
Nasty.
Paint in their apartments that's peeling from the walls.
Okay, if anyone saw that water coming out of their faucets, they would absolutely lose it. That's horrible.
There's gotta be, okay. I'm trying to think. There's gotta be like videos of people that moved from like the city, like they moved out of the city because of these conditions.
Shorten someone's lifespan.
There's gotta be like stuff like that.
Live in a place with conditions like that. And on top of that, we're learning that when repairs are made to some of these units, the units are then unavailable for the original resident to reoccupy. That means either one of two things. Either they've been permanently evicted, which I don't think is the case. More likely case is they've just been moved.
See, like, I understand if like you're straight up homeless, that it might be hard to move away from the city, but like what is
to another equally bad apartment somewhere else, and then the apartment they were in gets put up for somebody else? Either way, the people living in these places are getting totally screwed over every way possible. Finding one of these apartments is a challenge because the city is hoarding vacant units.
Paragraph says that most people living in city apartments like that can afford the cost of moving out of the city. That's what I mean. Like I feel like that would be a good thing to research. Like, what's the actual cost of moving out?
It's for reasons that don't make any sense. And if you do find a vacant unit to live in, well, your problems might just be getting started because the building could fall apart around you, and that's the only place the city will give you to live. And when private companies get involved and they start making repairs, yes, things get done faster, but the eviction process also happens faster, and there is contention over whether or not that's being done the right way. But one thing's for sure, if you're one of the 200,000 people who's waiting to live in one of these places and you find out that somebody isn't paying the rent and they get...
Paragraph says, notice I moved from DC Metro to Eastern Tennessee. It cost me over 50... Hold on, what? It cost you $50K to move? That seems a little high, dude. No. I recently moved and it wasn't even close to that amount. Yeah, what did you move exactly? Hey Hooks, how's it going? Yo Hooks, you moved from like a sort of city area to like the countryside, right, Hooks? Didn't you? Yo, can I call you? What's up, homie? Buddy, dude. So you moved from like, were you like suburb or were you like city when you moved?
Oh, dude, I was in the suburbs, man. It was nice. I was way far away from the cities.
Fuck yeah. And then when you moved like across state, right? Interstate?
Oh, dude, I moved cross country. It was great.
How much did it cost you to move, like estimate?
Estimation wise. All right. So interesting story about that. The short answer is it was like 10 grand, but a lot of people tried to, shekel me out of my shekels for like 20 and like 30 and stuff because I wanted to bring a lot of stuff. You know, I I had jars of food. I had furniture.
Mm-hmm.
I had collectibles. But I ended up paying around 10 grand, even though it was a pain in the ass and they lost half my shit.
Yeah, because like I feel like if you don't want to bring that much, then like how could it be that expensive?
All right. How expensive are we talking? Like, give me a ballpark guess.
Well, I mean, what one person in chat says it was 50K to move. I'm like, how's that even possible? I guess.
All right, 50K. If you had a lot of shit, then I can imagine someone would try to swindle you out of 50K.
Like there's certain moving companies and stuff.
Oh, dude, like the moving companies are a scam. They will absolutely charge you as much as they possibly can. They're not nice. This isn't Japan or anything where moving companies are actually good.
Mm-hmm.
They will cost you. They will charge you premium.
So a lot of it is like you're gonna have to do it a lot yourself. Basically, I'm trying to calculate like how much would it cost like for a person like to move from like a city to like the countryside, because like the cities are like so expensive, right? Like rent wise. Like they're literally the worst. Like cities are like crazy expensive, right?
I would never live in a city.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but no, dude, like if you wanted to move on the cheap and it's one person, all you gotta do is like rent a truck and just go. Like it'll cost you like at the very most like $500.
Like I almost feel like I mean, okay, I'm just saying like how I would do it. Like if it were just me, I would just fucking sell everything and then I would just move myself. And then just get like an inflatable bed or something, and or a sleeping bag.
You're murdering me with your words. That's exactly what I wish I did. After all of the heartache that I had, like to come move out here, I wish I sold all my shit and then bought whole new shit over here.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do.
So much money.
Not even buy. So like even if like let's assume that you really don't have any money, like you can totally just like get free stuff like off of people that don't want it anymore. Right.
Like, did you know that Goodwill exists and you could
get That's what I meant. That's what I would do.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about like how I would do it. Like, I'm thinking about like how I would do it. Like, if I was like a low income person, yeah, that's how I would do it. Right. The thing is like you would only take the stuff that's like absolutely critical. Right.
Yeah, and like don't forget, like if you are a low income person, you absolutely also have access to Craigslist and like Facebook Market, and like people are trying to get rid of their shit all the time. You can get things pennies on the dollar.
That's what I mean. I'm trying to like I guess parse, because I hear a lot like, so you know, again, like we're talking about cities being like incredibly expensive, and you also moved into the countryside just like me, and you know how much cheaper it is in the country. Like it's fucking insanely cheaper. It's like not even remotely, like in terms of how much property costs, and like it's not even
people will get angry if I said how much I spend on property taxes and cost of living here. It is in the 3-digit range. Like there's a lot of people who are cucked and have to spend like, I don't know, 12 grand a month for just rent.
Dude,
that's laughably expensive.
You want to know how much it was in California? Because I remember it was 2,000. It was 2,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment, and they tried to raise the rent.
No.
They tried to raise the rent, and that's why my mom was like, "Fuck this place," because they tried to raise the rent on us, and it was like, wait a minute, like it's already 2,000 for like a 2-bedroom, and like you want more, and like we were already there for a long time, and then they tried to raise the rent on us, so it was kind of like,
no. I'll go dance with the possums out here in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
Mm-hmm. No, well the thing is, Melchior, this was like a long time ago too. This wasn't like now.
It's like $3 grand at the very least.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot cheaper in the countryside. Like it's like I've been saying, like you can get like a brand new house, like a brand new house that already has like water and electricity and fiber internet for $150K, and it's like brand new house, like you own it. Like you can get that like out here in the country.
And that is right now too. Like, but when I was looking, you could get even more for like even cheaper.
Oh yeah, especially with the like a lot of the developers are like adding like sweet deals because they really want to sell this stuff right now.
Dude, but like I'm so like I live in our year of our Lord 2025 where everyone has fiber now. Like, it's actually harder to find places that don't have fiber.
There's more fiber, and it's kind of weird. There's more fiber internet in the country than there is in the cities. Like, I remember in California, there wasn't like fiber internet everywhere in California. Like, you would think there would be, but there isn't. In the countryside, they just have fiber. Like, my internet has never been faster. Living like kind of in like the rural areas, right? And it's yeah.
See, and no one knows what to do with it except for like you and me, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Nobody uses it. Like, I have the most boomer of boomer neighbors who don't use the internet.
Dude, and then you could be hooks over here, and you could you know that there's these things, right? Like, there's this like really cool countryside tech that you know about hooks. They're called chickens. Yeah. Did you know those fuckers just make free eggs? Like, what the fuck, man?
Bro. Dude, I love my chickens so much.
What the fuck?
I love my chickens so much, dude. Like, and they are an endless source of entertainment. Who needs cable when you can just watch Civil War every single day with chickens?
Did they fight the turkeys? Like the wild turkeys?
Yes. No, okay. Every single day. Every single day, my roosters say "race war now" against the turkeys. Every single day, dude.
Holy shit!
My chickens and my turkeys are constantly fighting, and I have to break it up every single day.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. Dude, I want some fucking chickens, man. Fuck, I want turkeys. I'm gonna make a pond. And I'm gonna grow fish. I'm gonna freaking fish them on stream and stuff. Didn't you do
buy an excavator and just make the pond?
Yeah, yeah. I gotta take down a bunch of trees too. It's like the problem. But yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Ducks. Yeah, get ducks. But more than anything, definitely get geese. They are just bigger ducks and meaner, but they will learn to love you if you are top bird.
Man, that's crazy. Like, didn't you do like a stream? Weren't you streaming for a while where you just had a camera on your fucking chickens or something?
Yeah, I did. I had a stream where I would just put my camera on my chickens, and then I would go to sleep and just let the ad revenue come by. Gotta get that. You're
the fucking ad revenue king, dude. Oh, dude, what happened with the whole thing? Like, didn't like Twitch fuck you over? Like,
nope, never. Twitch is still letting me grift as hard as I possibly can with this ad revenue.
This guy is like an ad lord, dude. Bro, like the king of ads.
I am on my stream right now. Twitch dropped.
He's streaming right now, by the way.
I'm streaming right now, and none of this conversation is in that stream. I am AFK as fuck, but I'm still here. I'm still fucking here with my good buddy Leaf, and nobody knows.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. I remember when like your wife used to play for you.
Yeah, dude. Like those were the days where I could just go to sleep and have my wife stream, and like this is content. He's even doing it on YouTube too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I won't stop. I'm going to take this to the next level. Like, when X has ad revenue for videos, you will see me streaming on X.
Oh my god,
just as AFK.
That's like a completely different business model. That's like the fucking ad saturation, like don't give a fuck business model.
Yeah.
Doing
100%.
like fucking just games that you don't have to pay that much attention to and just chill out on. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, like it's freaking great, man. I love life. Life is good.
Oh man. I mean, but the thing is like it's so much easier when you live in the countries. You don't have to worry about like.
Oh yeah, all I have to worry about are the wild dogs, the coyotes, the occasional bear.
Wait, you got bears out there?
Oh yeah, didn't I tell you?
Did you eat them?
I shot at least one.
Did you get it or? That's crazy.
Those fuckers can tank.
Fuck, man, that's crazy.
But yeah, like as far as threats goes, it's usually just wild dogs and coyotes.
Oh shit. Bear doesn't taste good. I heard bear tastes good if you get it in like a area where it's really wild and they eat blueberries. That's Don't get fucking trichinosis, dude. Actually, don't you get hogs too, like fucking wild hogs?
That isn't just certain parts of the world. I don't have wild hogs, unfortunately.
Oh, I see, dude. These fuckers are everywhere over here, dude.
I wish I had wild hogs. I would be eating pork every single day.
Dude, sometimes my
I would acquire the
neighbors
taste.
sometimes my neighbors just post like a neighborhood thing that's like, I just caught a hog in my yard, anyone want it? It's just like just fucking pick it up, dude. That's crazy.
Wait, is it live or?
Oh, it's like in a cage. Like they put like a trap out because it's like eating their potatoes and shit. You know, like they go in there, they dig up your garden. You know.
That's really funny. Yeah, like the first time. Okay, no, not the first time, but like once you eventually get able to like butcher an animal, then you basically have free food forever because
basically
the fucking animals are everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you live in fucking buttfuck Egypt, right?
Exactly, dude.
Do you do like garden now? Like, are you like doing vegetables, or are you just like mostly doing fucking chickens?
Yeah, yes and no. It's like, you know, like gardening is pretty passive. Like I've got a potato patch. I get potatoes sometimes.
Nice.
But like as far as gardening goes, it's mostly like herb shit.
Oh yeah, because those ones you need all the fucking time, and they're expensive at the store, man.
Yeah, dude. If I wanted like the poverty food shit, I could just go to the store and grab them. But like the spices and shit, like I want to grow those because that shit's expensive.
Yeah, it is. Like especially fresh ones. That's crazy. So you think like when you move do you like? I guess my thought is, so a lot of people get caught like kind of in the city, right, where like rent is like so expensive. Like I'm trying to think, like how would you move like from the city on like, I guess, like a minimum wage sort of a deal? Like how do you?
It's okay. Like it's really hard because once you're in the city, you're kind of trapped in the city because you are like, unless you're like a good boy that has like a degree and shit and nepotism into like a big ass company, you're probably a wagey. Like 100%, you're probably a wagey. You're living like week to week, paycheck to paycheck. That's the word.
Yeah, but like, are you fucked then? Like, is there no way? Because the thing is, actually, I have a question for you. So, like, since you live in the country as well, do you see a lot of like hiring signs? Because I see a lot of them over here.
We've got a lot of them. There's a lot of hiring signs. People don't like the work. I can get into that like later, but basically, like my friends in chat, like if you can game the system and get like free food and free money from the government, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Okay. In general, as far as like if you want to escape the city, the only way that you can do it as a wagey is to just YOLO it. Save up $200 or $300 and just take whatever you can carry.
Sell all your fucking shit, and like
liquidate everything and just run. Because
I guess like maybe that's the thing. Then it's just kind of scary, you know. Well, I mean.
It's scary, yeah, but like, dude, it's better than living in the city.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like what's the alternative? The alternative is like you're living in like a shitty place in the city. You're never gonna be able to own anything. You're just fucking stuck. You know, you're just like a cog in the wheel at that point. And it's kind of like, it does take a little bit of grit, but like you kind of have to just fucking take a leap of faith to like, you know, get out of it, I think.
Like that's kind of why I think that the city is a trap, because once you're in the city and you don't have anywhere like to bounce off like a family members outside of the city or whatever, you're pretty trapped because like not many people are willing to make that leap of faith. Like it's the equivalent of like just dropping your job and trying to do a self business or trying to get into streaming or something. It's like you have absolutely no safety net, and we are conditioned to not be okay with that. We have to be a wagey and have safety from our employer.
Yeah,
so that's the whole thing.
I kind of feel like, especially nowadays, like as long as you're not like completely like super poverty level, like if you have a phone, if you have a computer, there's plenty of ways that you can make money, especially in like the AI age right now. Like
100%.
Yeah. Another thing I tell a lot of people is that like you shouldn't feel ashamed to like live with your parents and like save up the money like in order to like actually like, because dude, rent is so bad. I'm sure you understand this too. It's so bad. Like once you get out of paying for rent, that's when like the shit starts. That's when life starts, right?
God help me. Like, yeah, once you escape the rent trap, because if you rent, you are trapped.
Burning money basically every month.
You're basically throwing money away every single month, every single year by renting.
Yo, dude, I'm talking to my friend Hooks. We've been actually, the funny thing is, so Hooks and me have been friends for a long time, and Hooks was actually there when the thing happened in the video. The fucking the one where they got mad at me and they tried to cancel me. Like Hooks was there for that.
Yeah, I was there. I threw Leaflit under the bus to save my own skin.
No, you didn't. You talked to them. You told them to fuck off, dude. I remember.
Yeah, I told them to fuck off, and that if they got rid of Leaf, I would walk. It was a good time. Leaf's my buddy. I would lay on a sword for her.
Dude, you're my buddy too, man. We're like the country folk got us. I feel like there's like a solidarity amongst people that live in the country.
There is 100% of solidarity among people who live in the country.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you just gotta get out of paying for rent, man. It's just bad. So
like
bad.
the millisecond that you can start investing in yourself is when you're like financially becoming free, and then when you have like no more mortgage, that's when you're actually financially free.
That's the crazy.
Because even though like we all have to pay property tax because fucking government, it's still
not even
pennies
close.
compared. It's not even close. It's like you basically pay 1 month of rent every year, and then all of that other money, like it's basically you attribute to generational wealth. Have kids, guys, really.
Guy, thank you so much for the gift sub, by the way. Thank you. But yeah, that's why I was telling people, like, just if you have, like, there's no shame in, like, your parents will let you stay with them. There's no shame in, like, living there. And then, like, as long as you're using that time to prepare yourself to, like, actually get a place, you know what I mean? Then.
Yeah, dude, bro, like, never live with your parents until you can afford a down payment of a house. Like, never rent. Yeah. Rent is a trap now.
That's, like, I think that's the ideal.
It used to be that rent was for smart people who like wanted to save money and use that like extra money between rent and mortgage to like invest, and then like you would actually make more money. But now you pay more in rent than you do in a regular ass mortgage.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth it anymore, especially if you live in like, you really just gotta move out of like these these expensive, like California, for instance, dude, the taxes are so high and like the property is so expensive. It's like, there's no way you can like justify it, I think, California at all. Like really the only reasons to be living in California are if you already have a job that's paying a fuck ton, like you're like some kind of tech person, or if you have family there. It's like really the only reasons to ever live there, I think.
Yeah, that 100%. Go live in the middle of nowhere. You have fiber internet everywhere in the country. So.
Yep, that's true. So my final question is which farm animal is the most worth?
Okay, which farm animal is the most worth? Hold on.
Which is the best value?
Okay. For profit or for personal?
Wait, are you like fucking bartering with people and shit out there? Are you like fucking harvest mooning and shit?
Everyone barters out here, yes. Okay, if it's purely for profit and bartering, you've got to go with chickens, not even close.
Because you got like the meat and the eggs are like all the time.
Right, but like also it really depends on where you live, because everyone out here has chickens. Everyone here has chickens, and so you've got to be like cute and exotic.
Diversified a little bit.
Want our turkeys like crazy.
But like,
yeah, turkeys. That's right. Pestered. What she said.
I have been pestered relentlessly to give up my turkeys.
Wait,
because
why?
They are so big. They are so big. They are so cute, and they go gobble, 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 and they eat bugs like you wouldn't freaking believe.
I mean, that's like, at least they're feeding themselves, kind of, right? Supplementing it.
Yeah, they're huge, and like, so I get neighbors asking me constantly about my turkeys, and they want them because they are big and beautiful.
Have you eaten any yet?
Yes, but also I'm sure, I am 100% dead ass certain that at least one of my neighbors have stolen at least one of my turkeys.
Wait, like they just went to your fucking house and
that very day they were gone.
Like, look, I had a neighbor come to my house and be like, "Hey, how much you want for the turkeys? I'll give you $100 for one." And I'm like, okay. He said he wanted to give me 2 exotic chickens for 2 turkeys, and I said nah. And so like he went away, and then next day, conveniently, one of my turkeys are missing. So it makes me think. It makes me think that motherfucker came and stole a turkey.
He fucking ate it, dude. Was it on Thanksgiving?
It wasn't on Thanksgiving. These guys want turkeys all year round.
Oh my god.
You don't have cameras? Well, yeah, now I have cameras.
Dude, so like the how much meat do you get out of a turkey?
You get so much goddamn meat out of a turkey. Oh my god.
Is it worth it though? Like I mean, compared to chickens,
is it worth it? Yes, it is 100% worth it to raise a meat turkey.
How about
100%?
geese?
I will swear by it. Geeses are a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah. I heard peacocks are a pain.
They're great. They're great, but they just poop everywhere, dude. And they have that nasty poop. They poop liquid oil stains all over
nasty.
your property. Yeah. And so like you gotta weigh your options. Geese are cute, they're funny, and you're able to bully them. I've got video of me chasing my geese around and they're like scream. It's hilarious. But the bad parts are that they poop everywhere and they will bully all of your other animals.
Are you considering like upping to mammals at one point, like teching up, or no? Too pain in the ass.
There's that picture of Connor fighting.
Oh God.
Goats.
No, I haven't shown Leaflit the video of the goose biting my dogs, but I will.
Oh my God.
My dog's asleep, and my goose thinks it's a great idea to nip him right in the balls.
You're fucking living the life, man. That's like even more hardcore. That's like the next level I want to get to, chat. Like the hooks life.
As far as mammals go, the plan after winter, because I'm fucking getting more animals in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting till spring, but like goats. I want goat milk. Goat milk is delicious.
Goats are like the next step usually, right? They're usually like the kind of easier one. They're not as nasty as pigs.
No. Goats are extremely difficult, and if you had the money for it, you would go cows. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought goats were better than cows.
Goats are rat bastards. Are you kidding? No.
Really?
No. You've got to train goats, right? Because goats are mean. And, they are freaking, who is it? Harry Houdini, whoever escapes. Yeah, they're escape artists.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Houdini. Yeah.
And so basically, I've got a breed in mind, and I'm going to get those. I basically am wanting to raise goats for the milk because I like milk.
Dude, so you're gonna be making fucking cheese and stuff. You're gonna be making farm cheese, dude.
100%. I'm going to be printing goats, and I'm going to be printing cheese.
That's amazing.
Yeah, dude. And I want it unpasteurized because unpasteurized milk tastes amazing.
That's legendary. Have you considered mushrooms?
Mushrooms? I've got ginseng here and there, that I can go into the woods and pick. But
wait, isn't ginseng a fucking root?
They're the ones that take 11 years to pick and are worth I don't know $40 a bushel or something. I forget.
Wait, what the ginseng? Yeah,
dude, you've never heard of ginseng?
No, I thought ginseng was a root, like a root crop.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? You kind of plant it and then you grab it. You make sure the mark where you planted it, and then you just.
Oh, that's true. You can totally forage for fucking mushrooms, freaking.
Yeah, the thing is that there aren't really any mushrooms where I live.
Life.
You don't get shanties or anything like that.
Entertainment. Goats will always escape whatever you put them in.
Thanks for the bits. You don't get chanterelles or anything around there, or morels? Dude, morels sell for a fuck ton. You know you have to get those wild. Those are worth a fuck ton.
Yeah. Dude, but I don't got any mushrooms. All I got are berries and shit and ginseng. Oh yeah, we got a cherry tree, a peach tree, and and a pear tree. Yeah,
that's fucking legendary. You're living the life, man. Thanks for thanks for letting me call and stuff and catch up.
Bro, I would always love to come onto your stream, buddy.
Dude,
I am super awake and I can censor myself right now.
Wait, what time are you even up? I can never, what is your sleeping schedule?
All right, so normally I wake up anywhere between 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. And then I go to bed anywhere between 4 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Your schedule, that's no schedule.
Yeah, there is no schedule, dude. I just make sure that my animals are alive, and that's good enough.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, bro, anytime you want to hang out, just let me know.
All right, I'll hit you up. What?
All right, dude, I'm gonna head out.
Peace out, bro. Thank you so much.
All right, Later, buddy.
To stay, that's going to feel pretty unfair to you, and you're going to think that their eviction is justified, and it could be. But then again, the city is the one moving people into these places who they know need help, and if they're not getting it, that might not be a good thing either. What do you think about this? Should the city use these empty apartments to house the homeless, like that woman who was caught?
They should get good, is what they should do. Obviously, it's not being run efficiently. They could use their own version of Doge. That's what they need. They need their own, like, government housing efficiency.
And one of them says they should. And what do you think they could do to get their act together and get these 5,600 apartments, a number that is growing, into the market for these affordable places so that folks can actually live in them who are struggling? Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video.
If you live in, like, the city and you can, you should move out. It's just not good, man. Like, unless you have, like, a really good education, or, like, you know that you have some kind of skill that will make you a lot of money, it's really not worth it to live in these places. I don't know. I think for some people that are, like, extra social, that, like, really need it, maybe, but I don't know. If you're a gamer, there's really no reason to live in these places.